Hi, I'm Tina, and this film is on Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. This dark comedy caused quite a bit of controversy in the 1960s, raising questions about our nation's security. It features actors such as Peter Sellers, who plays three parts in this movie, an explosive performance by George C. Scott, and a first-time ever film appearance for James Earl Jones. This political satire is about a general who goes mad and believes that the communists are fluoridating the water supply and contaminating his precious bodily fluids. He then exceeds his authority and launches an air attack on the USSR. This creates confusion and panic in the war room, where President Muffley is being informed by his security advisors on what has happened and how the system has failed. We ride this film out all the way to the end in a blast of laughter. We watch war room antics as the politicians try to prevent the nuclear holocaust. B-52s race towards their targets and then are recalled, with the exception of one. General Jack Ripper shoots himself in the head, and Captain Lionel Mandrake is desperately trying to figure out the code to recall the planes. The four major locations that this film was actually shot in was either in Jack Ripper's office, the war room, a B-52 bomber, or the perimeter of the base, leaving our theme sticking mainly with war and politics. Even though this film only has one female actress in it, it still has a sexual undertone to it. In the beginning, we watch the two planes fueling in mid-air. While it doesn't sound very sexual, it comes across as intercourse. Then we have General Turchinson, who's obviously quite the ladies' man. He's having an affair with his assistant. His assistant is calling him and begging him while he's in the war room to come home, yet he's trying to prevent the nuclear holocaust. And he doesn't really sound that disappointed with the 10-to-1 ratio of women to men in the end. Then you have General Jack Ripper, who doesn't always like to give the ladies his precious bodily fluid. Stanley Kubrick has a tendency to ask most of his actors to overreact in his scenes. George C. Scott's performance in this was excellent. His excessive facial expressions, his over-exaggeration of physical motion was just the right amount of ridiculousness. Then you have Dr. Strangelove with his menacing look, believing that he can create this super race, and then his alien arm that randomly gives Nazi salutes, and then tries to choke him out. So this movie was shot in black and white, which is kind of perfect in a way because it really relates the idea that war is cold. Certain scenes that were done at the Air Force Base, they were shot with held-hand cameras, so that this way we can see the soldiers running around with their guns and have it actually be a reality for us. Also, this film was very well known for its attention to detail in the war room, with the big circular desk, the backboard with all of the blinking lights. However, humor can be quite warming. In the 1960s, there was tension between America and the USSR. One of the biggest fears was that these two superpowers would create World War III with nuclear weapons that could possibly cause the collapse of civilization itself. One of the reasons why this film is so revolutionary for its time is because it actually makes fun of that fear, and it makes us laugh at something that we're terrified of. One of the scenes that humanizes the relationship that Americans have to the USSR is the scene where President Muffley is on the phone with Premier Kislyak, and Premier Kislyak seems to be getting annoyed with the fact that the only reason why he thinks Muffley is calling him is because he wants something or needs something, not just to say hello. So this film actually shakes up American viewers. It makes them wonder, who potentially has the ability to initiate World War III? Is it the president, the security advisors, or could some insane general just decide to set off Code Red and make it all happen? So Stanley Kubrick had done all of these obsessive researches about the military policies before he filmed Dr. Strangelove. And in the end, what it created was doubt of the fail-safe program between American viewers and the security department. In conclusion, the reason why this movie is one of the best of the 1960s is because of its excellent direction, its excellent cast, and its ability to create humor in horrifying situations. So the seductive title is actually part of the satire. Really, in this movie, the only seduction happening is between its main characters and the power. This 13-word title is quite the mouthful and totally a gutbuster.